In the heart of Mesopotamia, between the Tigris River and the endless plains of northern Iraq, a civilization rose that would redefine power, warfare, and empire. This was Assyria, a kingdom so formidable, so feared, and so innovative that historians today call it the world's first true superpower. But the story of Assyria is not just one of conquest. It is a story of resilience, a story of rise, fall, and rise again, and a story of how a small city on the riverbank became the beating heart of a vast, ancient world. The beginning of Ashur. The Assyrians began as traders, not conquerors. Around 2500 BCE, their earliest city, Ashur, grew rich on caravans moving tin, textiles, and metal across Mesopotamia and Anatolia. They built colonies, wrote contracts, and developed one of the most advanced merchant systems of the ancient world. But Assyria's geography offered something more: open land for horses, iron-rich hills, and a perfect position between rival powers. Over time, merchants became kings, and kings became conquerors. The birth of a war machine. Assyria's transformation began in the second millennium BCE. Kings like Shamshi-Adad I united lands from Syria to the Persian Gulf, but it was during the Neo-Assyrian period, beginning around 900 BCE, that Assyria reached a level of organization and military power the world had never seen. The Assyrian army was the first professional standing army in history. Not farmers who fought when called, not seasonal militias, but trained soldiers, full-time, disciplined, and backed by a state built for war. They created specialized units: infantry, cavalry, archers, slingers, sappers, and the devastating war chariots that became Assyria's signature. They also mastered siege warfare, battering rams, movable towers, tunneling teams. Assyria turned fortress breaking into a science. Other kingdoms built walls. Assyria built ways to destroy them. The Age of Expansion. Under kings like Ashurnasirpal II, Assyria expanded with terrifying speed. Ashurnasirpal built a new capital at Kalhu, decorated with monumental art, winged bulls, and reliefs showing military triumphs. His campaigns reached as far as Lebanon's cedar forests. Rebels were crushed, cities were resettled, lands were reorganized under Assyrian governors. For the first time, an empire was not just conquered, it was administered. This system, roads, provinces, taxation, military stations, became the model for every empire that followed. Shalmaneser III and the Battle of Karkar. One of the great turning points came in 853 BCE at the Battle of Karkar, where a coalition of Middle Eastern kingdoms tried to stop Assyria's rise. Despite their united strength, the coalition failed. Assyria proved what everyone already feared: its military machine was unstoppable. But the empire was not yet at its peak. Tiglath-Pileser III, the engineer of empire. In the 8th century BCE, a brilliant and ruthless king appeared, Tiglath-Pileser III. He reformed the army, reorganized the provinces, and created direct rule over conquered lands. He resettled populations to prevent rebellion and expanded the empire into Iran, Syria, and even the borders of Egypt. He didn't just expand Assyria, he rebuilt it into a machine that could last generations. The empire reached its zenith. Then came Sargon II, Sennacherib, Esarhaddon, and Ashurbanipal, some of the most powerful kings in ancient history. Sargon II built the magnificent capital of Dur-Sharrukin. Sennacherib conquered Babylon and expanded Nineveh into one of the largest cities of its time. Esarhaddon captured Memphis in Egypt, making Assyria the first Mesopotamian empire to rule the Nile. Ashurbanipal, the scholar king, created the Library of Nineveh, preserving thousands of clay tablets that still shape our knowledge of the ancient world. At its height, Assyria controlled an empire stretching from the Persian Gulf to Cyprus, from Egypt to the mountains of Iran. No earlier civilization had ruled such a vast, diverse, and interconnected region. A superpower built on order. But despite their fearsome reputation, the Assyrians were also great builders and administrators. They developed advanced roads, postal systems, aqueducts, and engineering projects. They built gardens, temples, and monumental palaces filled with detailed stone reliefs. Their ark captured moments of war, hunting, religion, and life. This was a civilization of complexity, not just conquest. But even superpowers fall. Assyria grew overextended. Endless campaigns drained resources. Vassals rebelled, enemies united. In 612 BCE, the Babylonians and Medes formed a coalition and marched on Nineveh, the greatest city of its age. After a brutal siege, the walls fell, the palace burned, and the Assyrian Empire, after centuries of domination, collapsed almost overnight. Their last forces retreated to Haran, then vanished into history. The legacy of Assyria. Yet Assyria never truly disappeared. The idea of empire they created, provincial rule, logistics, roads, standing armies, siege engineering, administrative control, became the blueprint for Persia, Rome, Byzantium, and countless states after them. The symbol of the winged bull, the libraries, the cuneiform records, the engineering, all reveal a civilization far more advanced than its reputation as merely brutal conquerors. Assyria was a force that reshaped the ancient world, a civilization that rose from trade, transformed through war, and created the foundations of imperial power for thousands of years. This was the Assyrian Empire, the world's first great superpower, and one of history's most influential civilizations.